Good morning to all of our Sioux Falls Christian families. We hope you and your family are enjoying a fun and a relaxing summer. At Sioux Falls Christian, we've been working diligently to create a reasonable and responsible plan for returning to our physical campus for the start of the school year on August 19. We're looking forward to welcoming you back as students and families to our school for a normal school year if possible. As a school, one of our goals each year is to build community. The traditional classroom model allows our teachers and students to be in classroom together, devoted to instruction and learning, and activity engaged in growing together, both academically and spiritually. We believe this is where our community is best accomplished. It is our desire for our students and staff to be on campus this entire school year, actively engaged in curricular and co-curricular activities. We do appreciate your patience as we've worked on developing a comprehensive plan that accomplishes our shared desire to return to school in a normal setting, along with keeping our students and community as healthy as possible. Our aspiration, even in the uncertainty of what is ahead, is what we will strengthen our unity and testimony as the people of God called to this particular place, that we will equip each other and each child according to their distinct God-given giftedness and purpose, and that we will protect the most vulnerable among us. We do have students and staff in our building each day that are immune compromised. Many of our families also have this same situation with a parent or a grandparent, an uncle or an aunt. As a neighbor-loving gesture and a neighbor-loving community, we want to do all we can to provide a safe learning and work environment for all of our students and staff and to help mitigate the spread to other loved ones. Given the fluidity of the situation we find ourselves in and have been in for the last 5 months, our plans to safely return to school in August will be constantly evaluated for necessary modifications. These plans embrace current recommendations for returning to school from the Center for Disease Control, the South Dakota Department of Health, and our local health department, along with recommendations from a medical team that we have formed within our school system. Please note that recommendations from each of these organizations will evolve between now and August 19, and they will be taken into appropriate consideration, which could result in changes to our reopening plan. This document outlines some of the procedures we plan to start the school year under, understanding that things may change. We do ask for your patience with us as we continue to do what's best for our students and families and staff. Well, I'm here with Michelle Baker, our early childhood administrator, and thank you, Michelle, for joining me today. And today we're just trying to get our reopening of the school document out and doing a little interview with you to give our elementary or actually early childhood parents a glimpse of some changes that we have to make in order to do this safely. So thank you for your work you've done this summer already on that. I very much appreciate it. But just to start with, Michelle, what are some overall highlights of things that may look a little different for our early childhood parents and kids as we start this school year after really being gone for 5 months? Give us a couple of the highlights.
Yeah, we are just so excited to have our students come back and be with us in the building. Early childhood is such a social type of learning. The interactions between the preschoolers and their friends and their teachers is one of my favorite parts of the school day. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to have them back in the building with us is something we're all looking forward to. We do have to do some things just to make it go well. Right now with COVID-19 being out in the community, and some of the things that we're looking at to make it safe for our students and staff is we plan on looking at drop-off and pickup and just trying to make it so that it's the safest as possible for our students. We're also looking at following the recommendations of keeping our students in cohorts. And so they'll be in a smaller setting with a certain group of students. We are also looking at things like recess time, and with recess we'll have separate grade levels, classes going out to the playground one at a time. We'll also have lunches where our students are spread out more and utilizing as many locations as we can for that. And so just using some of those things, as well as things that we've always done, like making sure we're teaching healthy habits of hand washing, using hand sanitizer, learning how to cough and sneeze into our elbows. Those normal things that the teachers focus on, but now we'll just put a little bit more emphasis on.
Yeah. And you mentioned the drop-off and pickup, and that's really a school-wide initiative that we've been advised to do, is to try to limit the number of adults that we have in the building, which is hard because we want to build community, and our adults are a very important part of that. But for the first few months at least, we're going to have to operate a little differently. So thank you for sharing that part of it. And you've got a little added challenge at lunchtime because your kids can't carry a tray very far. So we're going to try to do those kids in the cafeteria and socially distance them when we can and that type of thing. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. And just, if they're staying with their cohorts or groups that they're with, then that also will eliminate the contact that they have with a wide variety of students.
Yeah. And the whole cohort idea really, as we've been advised, if they can stay with a smaller amount of students, the spread would be less. And if we do have a case, we can figure out who's been around them, which is important. And you serve a great bunch of kids. You've got a great bunch of teachers. And I know those teachers want to get back with kids soon. They miss them. And I know you do as well. So anything else you want to add just as a final thought here, Michelle, is to your parents and your kids?
I know that the staff and myself, we're just so excited to have our kids back. That was definitely the hardest part of this spring, was that our students were not there with us. And we are so excited just to be able to have them in the building, in our classrooms, discovering about God's amazing world with them.
That's awesome. God's amazing world, and we serve a sovereign God.
Yes.
Who has this all in his hand.
We do.
So,
that's right.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank
Have a great day.
You too.